What is up, YouTube? I'm Devon DaVinci, leader of the Renaissance Crew, and you're watching DaVinci Reacts. Today I'm going to be getting into another video. It's called 10 Photos Taken Right Before Death. It was a video done by Rob. Well, at the time it was called Rob Dyke. He just recently changed his name to Rob Gavagan. It's kind of messed up why he changed his name. I'll go ahead and leave my opinions about that afterwards. You know, with YouTube and everything else. And let's go ahead and get into this. This is one of his biggest videos, and I just want to do a quick reaction and, you know, show my support for the fact that, for what he went through with YouTube and everything, and having to change his name. But even though I will give him credit, the new name Gavagan was, the story behind it is very noble, and I do appreciate him doing that and reestablishing a bloodline in his family that was tragically cut off. So let's go ahead and get into this and see what it has to offer. Twisted Tens is not a series for the faint of heart. It may scare or disturb you. The world is a very bizarre place and nothing is off limits. If you decide to continue, we hope you enjoy.
Incredible. The ability to visually capture a single moment so you can look back on it forever. But the harsh truth is, a photo never lies, and some of the memories it brings to surface were probably best kept in the darkest recesses of your mind. Today, we take a look at 10 photos taken right before death.
Womp womp womp. I don't know what the hell the instrument they use to play whatever the fuck they're playing right now is, but you play that over just about anything, you will turn it from whatever genre it was trying to be into horror. Every single time. You could put that on top of a porno and it'll freak people out. The Dutch technicians.
A fear of heights is a very common phobia. However, for wind turbine technicians, it doesn't tend to be a concern. But fear can arise from anywhere. Wind turbines are tremendously useful for providing electric power to numerous facets of some of our lives. Wind turbines can be huge as well, the tallest of which stands at over 721 feet tall, or 220 meters. But such technology does require maintenance, and technicians are the ones dispatched to be sure
Same with
everything
radio
is in proper
towers and all that.
order. But for two Dutch technicians, their worst nightmare would come to pass once they climbed the top of the mighty structure. This photo was taken showing the two technicians embracing one another after the turbine caught fire and quickly engulfed into a fiery blaze. One of the technicians jumped off the edge to avoid burning alive, while the other tried to take his chances getting back down through the inside. His body was found trapped and burned.
Wow.
Those safety precautions are put in place for this kind of event. The two technicians were trapped by the fire and were unable to escape safely.
That
the
is
two men
crazy.
were 19 and 21 years old.
I mean, I'm not sure how fast it would take for fire to engulf the entire wind turbine, but I was about to say maybe something they could do in the future maybe is give their technicians they might have had radios on them, but a way to contact people that, you know, are close by, some way of getting them down, whether it's, I guess they can't always have helicopters on standby, but I mean, they should have at least one helicopter. They should have at least one person on the ground who's there to help in case the people at the top get stuck or something like that. Hopefully, I mean, usually you always learn through tragedy, so I'm sure this event caused them to, you know, come up with some type of contingency to help prevent that in the future. Joseph Avery.
The Niagara River has claimed a number of lives from its vicious and merciless rushing waters. This photo of a man named Joseph Avery was taken in 1853. Joseph and two others had been boating on the river when it quickly overcame them. The two other men were torn away by the rushing waters and sent over the falls to their deaths. Joseph was fortunate enough to grab onto a log that had been lodged between two rocks. He remained there while onlookers gathered, unable to assist Joseph despite a number of attempts. Joseph remained hanging on to that log for 18 hours before he finally succumbed to the river. Witnesses recall Joseph releasing one final cry before he went over the edge of the falls and died.
Damn. Pavel
Freerunning,
Kashin.
sometimes also known as parkour, is a very impressive looking art, but the more impressive it gets, the more dangerous it tends to be. Pavel Kashin was a popular and talented freerunner who would leave many people's jaws dropped in disbelief at some of the things he was able to accomplish. But unfortunately for Pavel, sometimes ability can't outdo luck. This photo was taken while Pavel performed his final stunt ever. He executed a backflip while near the edge of a 16-story building. Unfortunately, he lost his footing on the landing and went right over the edge and plummeted to his death. Pavel's death was a sobering reminder that fearlessness doesn't always cancel out danger.
All right, I can tell you right now, I mean, of course the dude died, so you should always have at least some level of respect for that, but I'm not going to respect the way the dude died. I don't do the whole daredevil thing. If you've been a fan of mine long enough, you know that back on my DT Productions channel, me and King Rutherford did a reaction to a video called Mustang Wanted. And in it, well, Mustang Wanted pretty much is just some daredevils who record themselves doing things like hanging off the side of tall buildings, stepping on very narrow ledges and things like that, and pretty much tempting death. Me, if you tempt death and death comes, as far as I'm concerned, it should be expected. Like, I mean, I don't think nobody is going out saying, oh, you should be sad, it's a tragedy, or this, that, or the other, but I can't be sad over something that's expected. Like that, the fact that he survived is the rare thing. Like, you did a backflip on that narrow ledge, oh man, you made it. Okay, get down, don't tempt it again. But if you keep doing it and doing it and doing it, I mean, probably very few will be able to make it all the way through, but you passing away is kind of what's expected. If it wasn't, it wouldn't be so amazing over the fact that you did it. If everybody survived doing what you're doing, then it's not amazing. So death is kind of what the expectation is. You surviving is what makes it something unique. Now, like I said, I'm not going to try to disrespect the dude or anything like that. I mean, if you have a talent for something, go ahead and do what you got to do, but I just can't feel sorry for something like that. I can't. Like I said, it's not like they're going in my face like, hey, you need to feel sorry for him. But
politicians usually aren't the most loved of individuals.
I remember
Bud
this.
Dwyer was a politician
not in real
from
life, of course,
Pennsylvania.
but
In 1986,
I've seen the video
for
for it. It's out there.
Bribe. Though he claimed he was innocent up until the end, his actions betrayed his words. This photo was taken during a television broadcast a day before Dwyer was to be sentenced. He had just withdrawn a hidden revolver and attempted to keep people away so that they couldn't disarm him. Confusion erupted in the room, and Dwyer quickly placed the barrel of the gun into his mouth and fired upwards through his brain. Dwyer's suicide was captured on live television during a press conference that he himself called for. Reporters there were expecting an announcement of resignation. Well, technically, that's exactly what they got.
Yeah. You can find that video on YouTube.
A child's trusting nature
at least last
can
I
at
checked, you
times
could.
unfortunately lead to terrible ends. This is a photo of James Bulger, a 2-year-old boy, holding the hand of a 10-year-old boy.
If y'all don't know the story behind this picture, because I know about this event too, look it up. I mean, kids are kids, so they don't really know everything as far as like life, and you shouldn't hold a kid accountable for what they did when they're young. But there are some actions that make you hate people, and there are only very small things that can make you hate a child, or children in this case. Read up about this story and tell me if you didn't feel the same way that I feel. Like you wanted to go and find these kids and fuck somebody up. Tell me you didn't feel that way.
in a shopping center in England. The image itself seems innocent, as it is only two children walking together hand in hand. However, the boy leading him was in partnership with another 10-year-old boy. Both of the boys not only abducted James, but tortured and killed him. This was the last photo taken of James by a surveillance camera, right before his agonizing final moments. The two boys were held in custody until they reached adulthood, and then they were both released with new identities.
That pisses me off so fucking bad.
Bombings are so prevalent in modern terrorism because they not only kill and injure many people all at once, but the suddenness and unpredictability of it all frightens many, many more people. This is a photo taken of a man and a young girl, presumably his daughter, standing together in a popular shopping area. A nice picture at first glance, but when you realize that the red car beside them was a stolen vehicle, things begin to take a turn for the worst. The car was loaded with a fertilizer-based explosive and was detonated moments after the photo was taken. Over 300 people were injured in the blast and 29 were killed. The man and young girl were both fortunately spared from the explosion, but the photographer died. His camera was found in the rubble. The attack was executed by the real Irish Republican Army. They later apologized for their actions.
Damn. Yeah, it's crazy. The innocent people get caught in the crossfires.
Being involved in the drug trade can be very bad for your health, even if you're not using. Carl Williams was a drug lord in Australia responsible for the deaths of a number of people. For these things, he went to prison like many in the industry do. This photo was taken of a fellow inmate approaching Carl from behind when he was reading a newspaper. Damn. His life was brought to an end when the inmate, with the help of a part of an exercise bike, beat Carl to death immediately after this photo was taken. It was believed that Carl was aiding police in the capture of a number of other high-profile drug traffickers before his brutal demise.
Yeah. That's crazy because you don't really I don't really expect like bad people coming from Australia. I mean, whatever the origins of Australia you want to say is or whatever, I don't know, I just think of politeness and just funny accents. Kind of the same with England, or Great Britain. You kind of, it's the accents can trick you. The accents can make the sweetest person seem like, or make the most evil person seem like a sweetheart. Don't get caught up with the accents. Maybe that's my problem. Well, then again, Kano was evil, and Kano has a very strong Australian accent. You know what? Never mind. Forget what I just said.
When in a position of power, it is very likely that many, many people might want you dead, but few are actually willing to see to it. Reynaldo Dagsa, a Filipino politician, unfortunately encountered one of those few. This photo was taken by Reynaldo. He had his family assemble so he could get a nice family photo on New Year's Day in 2011. But within the same moment he snapped the picture, he also caught his own death in the image. His assassin could be seen on the side, aiming a gun directly at Reynaldo. The assassin shot him in the head immediately after the photo was taken. The politician's killer was discovered to have been a robber who was recently released from prison on parole.
I find it very suspicious that a random robber will pull up to someone with their family sitting there and just shoot them and leave. That seems to me like that it was part of a hit or something like that. No, somebody doing small time crimes isn't just going to run into somebody and just murder them in front of witnesses and then leave, unless there's something bigger behind it. I'm gonna have to look that up, but to me that sounds like a hit.
Natural disasters can occur within an instant, but are unique in that there is no one to blame when loved ones' lives are snuffed out in an instant. Some people aren't so fortunate to either escape or be killed outright. One girl named Omaira Sanchez was a victim to a severe volcanic eruption in Colombia. Her legs were crushed beneath the rubble of her home, and the body of her aunt rested beneath her feet. This photo was taken just before the girl succumbed to her injuries.
Oh, I think I remember this story. Yeah, she had the black eyes.
The only option would have been to amputate her legs, though she surely would have died.
Like she was alive for a long time, and people were like,
those around her kept her comfortable for 3 days. She remained generally positive the entire time. Before her death, her eyes turned black, her hands turned white, and her face swelled, as can all be seen in the photo. Because of this photo, Omaira's legacy has been immortalized.
And I think I saw some
dark
videos.
Eyes linger within the minds of many who had witnessed her.
Yeah, I think I saw some videos of that.
Serial killers do often take pleasure in the deaths of others, and then some take it to all new levels. Robert Ben Rhodes was a truck driver who would travel about on business while picking up female hitchhikers, teenage girls he felt wouldn't be missed. He'd brutally torture and murder them. One such victim was Regina K. Walters, who Rhodes abducted and toyed with. This photo captures Regina's last moment of life. He forced her to wear a black dress and heels, cut off her hair, and had her pose in photos. The fear and despair quite apparent on her face. Mere seconds after this photo was taken, the killer behind the camera slaughtered Regina mercilessly, ending her life at the age of 14. Rhodes was fortunately caught, however, Regina's death and the moments right before it will exist forever as a haunting reminder that the world can be a ruthlessly cruel place. Life can be so fickle at times. Our first breath occurs within a moment, as does our last. These photos do make that fact very hard to forget. That's all for now. I'm Rob Dyke, and you be sure to be here next Wednesday for another episode of Seriously Strange. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, or else you just might miss it. See you next time.
Yeah, that other picture pisses me off too. The girl and the serial killer. And the thing that pissed me off is like the fact that the person in the picture didn't do anything to warrant what happened. I think that's what gets me the most. Like, it's one thing for it to be a drug dealer getting caught in a hit or something, or I mean, sometimes even like natural disasters, like somebody getting caught in a avalanche or earthquake or something like that, because there's not really anything you can do about that. That's just life. But as far as like the serial killers and people killing people like that, it's not. It's something that feels like it could have been prevented. Like if people were just more humane, I guess. Like if they were more like actual people instead of monsters, then the people in the pictures wouldn't be dead. That's the thing that makes me mad. Like it feels like you could have done something about it. The idea that someone right now, like as of right now, like at this very moment, is like getting murdered, and there's nothing you can do about it. They're just gone. That's something that pisses me off. Yeah, Rob Gavagan. I forgot he changed his name. Rob Gavagan, he does a ton of videos like this. I mean, his channel goes back so freaking far, and he has so many other videos similar to this. He has profiles on specific serial killers and specific crimes. If you're really into like crime drama and things like that, you will love his channel. So be sure to go and check it out if you haven't already. He is a very large channel, so I'm pretty sure if you're watching this, then you probably already know who he is. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link for his channel at the end of this video, so you'll be able to click in it or click on it like while you're still watching this, so you don't have to go out of your way to go find his channel. And I will leave a link in the description box down below to get to this specific video so you can watch it without me interrupting or pausing or anything like that. Yeah, to get into the whole YouTube thing, so anybody that don't know the story, he recently did a video, and if you want the full story, I recommend you go to his channel and actually watch his most recent video. He recently had to change his name because apparently his last name, Dyke, was getting flagged on YouTube because it wasn't considered family friendly or whatever else. And the thing is, it's his real last name. Dyke is his real last name. It's not like it's a YouTube certain. It's not like it's a YouTube name. Like Devon DaVinci is a YouTube name. That's not my real name. Rob Dyke is his real name. And the fact that YouTube doesn't have any type of middleman that you can talk to try to get these types of issues fixed, it's like all or nothing. This word is considered bad. We don't care what the context around it is. We consider it bad. So there's no way of fixing it. Okay, Dyke is my last name. There's no way you can make an exception with this channel for... Oh, no, we can't do anything like that. We're going to demonetize you and all of your content. From now on, you will not be able to use that name. So, I mean, it's stupid. And then he had to go out of his way to change his last name. Well, he didn't have to change his last name, but he changed his last name because... in his words, he said that if he wants, like, if he wants to go out and like become a host of something or anything like that, he thinks that the name is going to have issues, just like it does with YouTube. It would call it, like, he doesn't think a lot of people want to plaster the word up there on like marquees and signs and things like that. So, I mean, that's respectable. Yeah, I can see people having an issue with it. Me personally, I don't give a fuck about what a person's issue is. If you have an issue with something like that and you can't understand the context around it, if life is too complex that you have to simplify everything to, oh, good word, bad word, good word, bad word, without looking at the context around it, then I don't give a damn about offending you. I don't care. But then again, if you're looking to become like really big in entertainment and Hollywood and things like that, then that's the type of attitude you would probably have to look at. You have to cater to everybody. Whereas YouTube, you cater towards yourself. And people just tend to, if they like your shit, then they like your stuff. Then let them subscribe to you. Like, I don't have to worry about answering to specific higher-ups or advertise, well, not necessarily, like, not directly with advertisers and things like that. So it's not a big deal for a YouTube channel. I did like the story about why he changed his name. For those that don't know and haven't watched his newest video, he changed his name because his apparently that was the name of his great grandmother, and she had passed away. I can't even say passed away. He says she died young. She died tragically and she died young. So I'm not going to sit here and say passed away because I don't know the full extent of why she passed away. You can go watch the video to get the full details about it. But if it was, like, if she passed away and it was against, well, I can't say against her will because passing away from like cancer or something could be against your will. If she, let's say if she was murdered or something like that. I'm not going to sit here and say she passed away because that makes it seem like I'm covering up something or that she was, I'm trying to cover up what happened to her. No, she was murdered. Somebody, if that's what happened, I don't know fully, but if she was murdered, then some son of a bitch murdered her and they deserve to go to the fullest extent of whatever the justice is going to allow. So she passed away. She didn't have any kids or anything like that. So at the time, the bloodline or the last name died with her. Gavagan disappeared after she passed away. So what he did was he thought this was a good opportunity to, reignite the name into the family. So he changed his last name to Gavagan, and hopefully we'll have plenty kids and be fruitful and multiply and be able to get the name back up again. So again, Rob, I want to thank you so much for all the content and stuff you've done on YouTube. I've only been doing videos for a couple years, but I've been a lurker on YouTube for years, since 2007. So I know a lot about your channel. I go back a long way with your channel, and I just wanted to show my support. Anybody watching this, if you like this content, go to his channel and subscribe to him. Like this video and everything else. And I mean, that's pretty much all I can say about it now. I'm a big fan of his, and hopefully one day I can be big enough to the point where I can call up Rob like, hey Rob, you feel like doing a collaboration or something like that? Hopefully that'll be when I have the resources to do more than just reaction videos. That's not reaction. I love doing reaction videos. I love reaction videos. I love doing reactions, period. But I do want to add more stuff to my YouTube channel. Hopefully one day I can do skits and I can do voiceovers. I could do some more drawing videos, get more into gaming and things like that. So just know that this channel is going to, hopefully, my vision is it's going to have everything. Now all I got to do is just figure out the proper time and schedule to get it all done. But anyway, that's been this video. I am Devon DaVinci, and you have just been a little bit more enlightened. If you want to join the Renaissance crew, all you have to do is click that subscribe button. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, share, all the other good stuff. And that's pretty much it. Also, be sure to comment. I love seeing giant comment sections. So if you feel like saying anything, go ahead and type it. Say it. It doesn't matter what you say. Hashtag something. Just as long as if it's not crazy, because it will get deleted. Don't become a troll now. But you know, be sure to comment with me. I love commenting with people that watch my videos. And that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you the deuces, and I will see you on my next video. So until then, deuces.